Hi, I'm Scott Olson with FounderBuzz. I'm here today with John Giobbi of Proxense. Thanks for being with us, John.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Well,
Talk.
love to hear a little bit about yourself and your company.
Well, I'm the founder and CEO of Proxense here in beautiful Bend, Oregon. And Proxense has developed an ultra-secure wireless automation technology, which we call TrueProx, and a secure, scalable platform that's built on it. And the goal of the technology and the platform itself are really to automate proximity-based tasks while simultaneously dramatically improving the security of them. In other words, we don't make a trade-off between security and ease of use or benefits of it. One example, just to give you a sense, is our Prox Access module. It's a piece of software that is installed in hospitals that allows the user to walk up to a workstation with one of our devices on them and be automatically detected and authenticated and then have their software launched and logged into for them. So by doing nothing more than walking up to a machine, they're automatically logged into their software without having to do anything, and yet it's extremely secure.
Is this technology used in places where they share resources quite a bit? Is that kind of one of the main applications, like a hospital where you certainly have a lot of computers where there's multiple people coming in and out and using those, as opposed to, I've got my laptop?
That is definitely part of it. But it's also used in places that you have a lot of logging in and logging out going on. And a hospital is a perfect example of that. Because of HIPAA, doctors and nurses and PAs or whatever have told us just endless number of times that they're logging in 100, sometimes as many as 200 times a day.
Wow.
And of course, logging out is important too in that situation. And because of there's up to our system, there's been no automated way to do that. They end up having to time out on logouts automatically, which means that they're constantly being logged out when they don't want to be.
And where'd you get the inspiration for the company? I mean, what's your background?
Well, my background's software. I've been in software my entire career. But the real inspiration came back in the days of Napster, when the idea of allowing individuals to potentially link their digital media to a wireless device, which then had to be in the area when they wanted to play back that digital media, was an idea that I thought might have the potential to stop the rampant illegal downloading that was going on back in that phase, the early 2000s. I didn't pursue that directly, but the concept of it in general opened my eyes to the potential of such technology, especially if you build a little extra capabilities into it, which is what we've done. And that then led to the idea of building a platform-based network on top of this technology. In other words, enabling it to be used in many, many different uses or services.
Right. So you've certainly have evolved your technology from your initial idea based upon your interactions and feedback with early customers. Is that right?
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, it changed a lot. I mean, again, we had the original idea, but then as I really got into it and began to ask questions and look into the different opportunities that existed for, I realized there was fantastic opportunities, but they did require a lot of homework and effort to get down to and determine which ones they were.
Right. Well, I mean, one of the things we love to do is just kind of share insights from founders that would help other entrepreneurs. Is there, anything that you can kind of think of in particular that you've learned through this process and kind of evolving your company that you think would really benefit somebody else looking to start their own company?
Yeah, definitely. This is my third startup, by the way, too. But even with that being my third one, I still have found a lot of things to learn in this process that are even more important in this particular company, mainly because of the complexity of our products and the markets and the technology in general. But I think one of the biggest things to do, and in our case this was critical, pick your target, pick where to start. Because a lot of times you have ideas and you can see 1,000 different uses. In our case, that was exactly the problem. It was one of the biggest problems we had. Our technology is able to be used for almost endless numbers of things. So where do you start? And I think in our case, out of all of the effort that was given to determining where to start, two basic things came out for us. One of them was to do this as a platform, not just like a technology. Really to think of it as a platform, because then it allowed us to kind of leverage our technology's broad applicability while not really locking us into, or forced us, I should say, to do a lot of different things up front. Allowed us to build us something that we could then build on later on. So we still had to pick one particular use for after the technology itself was built, and for us, that was healthcare. It made sense at the time, or really right now even, because of the economy and because of many other factors. But for us, that makes sense. But picking the target is critical. And I think to do that, you have to do your homework. You have to spend a lot of time and be willing to do that, to study what the real market opportunities are, who's the competition, what strengths and weaknesses do you have as a company. Just this many, many factors that go into it. But if you don't do this,
it sounds like the kind of cornerstone of that from what you said is also just getting in front of the customer.
It is, and in fact, even once we narrowed down in our case to wanting to do healthcare, we then spent probably close to a year traveling the country and talking with every CIO, CTO, doctor, nurse, whatever that we could get our hands on, or face in front of at least.
Yeah.
And really asked a lot of deep questions and didn't try to lead them in any direction as to what applications they should or should look at or whatever. Just try to understand just generally where can we really be the best help. And it was hugely beneficial because doing that we came up with a handful of capabilities or services that were really, really needed that came up over and over and over, and it made this decision very simple at that point.
Well, I think that's great advice, and I certainly appreciate you taking the time today.
Thank you. Appreciate the opportunity. I hope we can help others avoid some of the mistakes we've made.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.